Hey everybody, DayTrader Rockstar here with you, and a video today that is a tutorial release video of the new RockBot Thunderbird script. It's the Thunderbird Long, it's a bi-divergent script, and I just released it for the Tradingview platform. We've had it for the NinjaTrader platform. It's one of the original scripts that I use. It's an excellent script. There was so many people that want me to convert it over to TradingView. So I finally got around to doing that, and that is complete. So I just want to go over a video kind of explaining the use of it and what it is exactly. All right, and all these scripts can be found at DayTradingRadio.com. Members get the scripts with their membership. You'll also get them on Patreon.com/DayTradingRadio. But we're going to go into the Thunderbird script. Again, the Thunderbird is just a name that I grew up with as a kid, running around the woods and stuff, and I always just labeled it the Thunderbird because it's bringing back childhood memories. It's something I developed years ago when I wanted to identify divergences in the middle of the night. And I was using the NinjaTrader platform, and I'm going to bring that up for you right now. I was using a NinjaTrader platform, and started to learn the Ninja script and the way they helped you along building scripts, and I was able to finally, get a formula down that was identifying the things that I was looking for. And I ran the script, and it was mainly for me to make sure I'm not missing opportunities, because opportunities for me is money. If you're a divergence trader, you wait maybe the whole day for one divergence, but you don't want to miss it, and that meant overnight too. I've been doing it for so many years that I know the power of certain divergences. I know how they look. I just want to be in front of them when they're happening. I'll make that decision as I see it, but it doesn't do me any good if I cannot be there for it to happen. So I developed the bots to kind of even put them next to my bed. It's kind of an interesting story overnight, because I like the European Open, and sometimes 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time is when Europe opens up, and we have that volatility coming into the market, and there's lots of times we'll see divergences. And that's just one of the great things about having one automated type of setups. So I went ahead and developed that, and it became then I released it to the members, Day Trading Radio. And from that point on, it's been growing. I've updated it. We added some real special features, but overall the formula has been really a great formula. We've started to use it more on the 22 range, and like I said, all the scripts are out there for the NinjaTrader, and I'm slowly converting them over to the TradingView platform. So this one is the Thunderbird, and the Thunderbird, if we take a look here, I'm just going to give you. I did a write-up on it on this, and just to kind of talk about it. The Thunderbird strategy is built on the original divergence formula that we used in NinjaTrader as the foundation behind many of the RockBot signals developed for DayTradingRadio. Unlike the SuperSignalQuad, this uses the same divergence formula as the SuperSignalQuad, but unlike the SuperSignalQuad, the Thunderbird does not require the quad rotation confluence across multiple stochastic timeframes to trigger. So the SuperSignal requires all of our stochastic spans to be at a certain spot, not necessarily all oversold under 20, but they have to be very close to oversold. There's a couple tweaks in the code that help with the momentum shift and stuff, but basically we're going to call that a quad rotation. That's what the SuperSignal, it's very important to have that on your side. Where the Thunderbird doesn't require the quad rotation. All right, it's just looking for that divergence. So strategy is going to give you more setups. It's definitely going to give you more setups, and that's a good thing when you see the results. Even the divergence is the kicker. The quad rotation is really good because it really kind of gives us some understanding of how long we want to be in the trade possibly, and if it's a bigger move or not. So again, there's a lot of information on this. This will be on the TradingView site, talking about the parameters. I'll go over those in a bit here right now. So I want to show you an example, because we are talking about the scripts here. I want to show you the different scripts that we have right now. And I'm just going to bring them up on the NinjaTrader just to show you the example of how the Thunderbird and the SuperSignal are different and the different ways of using it. So I want to just to help people with the NinjaTrader also. Now, you're not going to have all these scripts that you see on my thing. These are all new things that I work on all the time, so I'm always working on it. So we're going to go down to the ones you have. You have the SuperSignalQuad 1v1, and we're going to bring that down. Now, I'm just going to have it. I just want to show you. I'm just going to enable the long. You can't enable both of them. These are your parameters. Make sure you do one, not both of them, but one or the other. All right, now I put a color band in here to kind of, if you put different ones on there, you just kind of, I like the visual. You don't have to. You can make it transparent. And these are already defaulted in 2, 6, 2, 15. Each one of these, again, there's a lot of videos on it, but represent how many contracts you want to come off at the first target and what your first target is. So 2 contracts coming off after 6 ticks. Another 2 is coming off after 15 ticks. And then your signal loss type is a signal bar low or high. All right, that means it's already calculated, not ticks. It's going to be signal bar low if it's a short, or if it's a long here. And but if you want this to be ticks, you would just move this to ticks and use whatever is here underneath that. And then your stop loss, we set that up separately, so sometimes Rhythmic gets stuck on things. So I set this up separately. And this is just following it with a trailing stop. Now, this could be anything you want also. You could adjust this. And I highly recommend remembering that the bot is only as good as you program it to be. You know, it identifies divergence, but if it identifies a divergence in a downward channel, it won't get the rotation. And look, it might not get your 8 ticks or your 10 tick profit. Maybe it only rotates up 4 ticks. And you're not going to know that. The bot's not going to know that. It's not going to, but you'll know that because there's a method that we teach around this using the bots. The bots are great tools to get you into a trade, but you have to know when if you should get out of a trade faster and cut your profits. Very important. It's very easy to see. You know, it just takes a little knowledge and a little repetition. So I'm just gonna show you this. So this is the SuperSignal, and again, I'm going to apply that. I don't know what, I didn't even change the parameters. It's basically, we just want to see when it's going to trigger. And I don't see any triggers here yet. Let me see, where are we? All right. No triggers. All right, so here we have the signal, SuperSignal. And it's, again, you can see the SuperSignal requires all 4 stochastics to be oversold. Also, the formula is showing a little divergence here also. That you might not see visually, but it is there from that one candle to the next candle. When you measure the stochastics internally and the price on top, that's what's so good about the bot. The bot will get you in with no emotion. It'll get you in. It'll trigger, and then you don't have to worry about that. What you have to worry about is your exit and understanding market direction, market momentum. If there's news, what happened here? Is there a lot of news? If this was news, you're probably going to get a bounce and then a pullback, and it's going to be very choppy. So it makes a lot of sense to always be taking profits. All right, always be closing, we like to say in the chat room. The important thing is the market is a master at coming back and taking you out and make you uncomfortable. First of all, you're not going to be able to get a great entry. It's so hard to buy the fear, buying into that fear. It's just most traders cannot do that. They have to feel that positive reinforcement of a good candle. Or already you're behind it, and the next candle you're pushing a button, and sometimes you could be a couple points, way off the bottom, and then the market's going to come back a point, and it's going to, and that's just very difficult. And you have to grow. You have to learn how to deal with that. You have to learn to trust the setup, buy into the weakness. All right, buy into the weakness, sell into the pops, become a machine, basically. And the tools are here, and the methodology works so well that it's easy enough to put your stop in. Get in and put your stop in. That's all you're asked to do. All right. So this is going to help us point out these levels. Depending on, you don't want to buy something right into news. Maybe you're going to get a pop. This worked out fine in this case, but you just don't want to let it run automatically and get caught in some type of chatter, because the market does move around fast. But the majority of the time, as you see, this thing is a killer. It's such a good script, the SuperSignalQuad rotation, because it matches our divergence and our quad rotation. So, but how many trades you have? We have one at 5 o'clock and we have one at 8 o'clock. It's 3 hours difference. We have 3 hours. No one in their right mind sitting around. I am. Honestly, I am, because I know, it's worth it. It's not like I have to trade every minute of the day. All I have to make is 1-2 good trades, and it makes my day. So it's okay to just hang out, do other things, wait for the market to set up, wait for Johnny to send the alerts out in the trade alert box or in the Voxer alerts. That's the special trade alerts that we send out to members. When these setups set up, if you don't have the bot. This is killer. So here it is. So this is my thing. So now if we put the Thunderbird on, you're going to get the same divergences. So you're probably going to get these, but you probably have divergences all up here too. And it won't be a quad rotation. So let's pull down the Thunderbird. Now this is going to be the same script you have over on TradingView. All right. So it's called the Thunderbird. And you have it on the NinjaTrader already. All right. And then we're going to bring it down here. And now we're going to make sure, we're going to keep the long on, so we can I'm not going to put short on yet. And let's make this a blue, like a light blue, a medium blue. And we'll just leave, we'll leave everything as it is. I just want to see it market. Apply. Let's make sure we got, all right, this is the Thunderbird one. All right, so this is the Thunderbird one. Apply. All right. So here now, you see a lot more now. It's covering the yellow ones. It's covering the yellow ones because it's laying on top of it. But you could, there was one yellow one here and one back here. But this one was a regular one. This is a Thunderbird. This is a Thunderbird. I have to label these better so we could see them. I'll label these for the next release. And see. I didn't think about that. I was just thinking about the colors. But then the colors are going to overlap sometimes, and you're not going to get the contrast. But if I delete, watch what happens when I delete the Thunderbird one. All right, here we go. Thunderbird one, delete. See there. So there was a lot of other ones on there. It's too bad but that's the same form. You can see it's going to be the same divergence. So I make it that we could see them both, though. That would be nice. So let's show the short, though. All right, so we have that, and now we have the SuperSignal short, which I never really did a video on that, but it's basically the opposites. So you're going to bring down the SuperSignal 1v1. You're going to bring it down here. Same formula, but you need two of them. You're going to go up to the top here, and you're going to say short. And then I like to make it like maybe a pink, red, coral color representing a short. We'll just leave that as it is just to see it mark. I just want to mark it. I just want to paint a chart and just show you the difference that these, yeah, look at that. Oh, my God. Is that so nice and pretty? Catches right on the top. Now, this is a quad rotation sell signal, plus it's a divergence. And you might not see the divergence, but it is a divergence because my math is right. And then back over here, too. So, I mean, I would think sometimes you could... I like these super signals for beginners because it's not that active. You know, these are nice. You know, very happy with the thing. Now I still have to get the Thunderbird short out for TradingView, which is coming next. But I'm almost done with that. So now we're going to just move this over. Now we saw how to activate that, change your parameters. There's a lot to go into using the bot more, but I'm not going to use this to talk about that. But how to calculate your channels, your the width of your channels, understanding how much of a rotation you're typically getting between the 9.3 and the 20 line and the 80 line on the 9.3. So lots of times we look 5 to 7 candles. What is that 5 to 7 candles giving you? Is it giving you 2 points, 3 points, 12 ticks, 18 ticks? Then you can start setting your parameters to kind of capture these moves and using the bot to capture these moves. And if you're trading in a downtrending market, you might want to tighten up your market, tighten up your profits. You're not going to get the big profit zones. It's going to move up against you. But you'll get something, but you have to know to get that out. It's a lot of little things you need to know when you're trading with the bots. All right, let's switch over to the TradingView thing now. This is what everyone's waiting for. So this is now when if you remember, I sent out a form to put your username and TradingView name. I know I have a lot of people already attached to the other scripts, and we had to do that. I have to do that manually. So I sent to all the members who will have access to the TradingView scripts another form, and just to put in TradingView, that way we could keep it. We could easily input them, and I could keep everything easily. It's just the onboarding process for the hundreds of traders that might have to go on this. I just want to simplify it, so get everyone on a list, basically. And the next time, another bot comes out, we might have to do the same thing. It's not a big thing. You just click on the link, put your TradingView username in, your email, and send it back, and just push resend it, and I'll take care of the rest of the stuff. All right, strategy report. So when you get the scripts, you're going to find them. You're going to find them in your invite only. So if I go to my TradingView here, and I'm bringing up I like to start off launch the MNQ, the micro, NASDAQ micro. All right, and then let's see what's on it. SuperSignal's on it right now, but I want to 86 that. So 86, nothing on the, this is my template. If anybody's willing to have that, if they want it, I could share it. You have to make it your own and then do whatever you need to do to own it. So when you have it, when you get permission to use it, when you send in your thing, and I'm going to give you permission, you're going to go to your indicators, and you're going to go to your invite only, and you're going to see it here. You're going to see the Thunderbird right here. All right, and then you click on that, and that's going to load onto your chart, just like that. And see how busy it's much busier than the SuperSignal. Very similar to what we just looked at. But, and this is the challenge I send out to everyone out there. I'm not a TradingView guy. I don't use it, but so many people use it, and they want the scripts for it. And I know how TradingView uses their scripts. They don't really allow automated scripts to trade on their platform. You have to use a third party, like add hook, which is good. I've been working with some people on, getting their things set up, and it seems to be working okay. I actually have to check back with someone this week just to see how it's doing. But you'll see the you'll see the results here, and I want to ask people who use the TradingView, how accurate are these results? All right, because these things seem kind of always, I throw this on this script on the 3-minute and on the 5-minute. It's just tremendous. I mean, this is really, really good. And then I started breaking it down. I said, oh, you know what? Let's just go and let's quantify this or qualify it, and let's go to, let's see here. Where are we? Let's see. I just want to go. To today. Like, I guess 22. Is that today? No, 23. All right, let's see. I don't think it took a trade today. We'll go back. Let's just go back a week. All right. 12 out of 12 trades, and we could start breaking down the the trading. Let's see here. Where is this list of trades? And I look back at this, and it looks legit. I just want people to go give it a run and give me some feedback on it. I find I have great results, really good results, but I'm not sure how these results are back tested. I'm suspiciously optimistic, but we'll see. Here's the 5-minute time frame. Let's go out. Let's actually get rid of the back test. Let's just go out a whole month. That's a lot of trades. That's on a 5-minute. Or maybe it goes out further than that. That seems like an awful lot of trades for a month. That got to be maybe the year or something. Let's go here. Let's do this. This is the month. Oh, I did see a little red at one point. All right. It's not a machine. It had a little pain. It had a little drawdown. But you know what? It is yours to do with, to test it, to let me know. Right now, the parameters. Let's talk about the parameters here. And it's an active strategy. We're going to go to the parameters. I guess this would be the default right now. 6, 2, 15, 2, 14. But what I'm going to change here, all right, we're going to I want you guys to try this. Now, let's take a look at this was the results. See the results here? We actually didn't have only 88% profitable trades. That sucks. The $787. All right, so let's make this year. Watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to change some of these. This is what I call my open-ended trade. 780. Just keep an eye on that 786 here. We're going to put 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And let's see here. We're going to OK that. That means it's going to take the divergence, and it's just going to follow it up with a trailing stop after 8 ticks. Now you're up for $4,000 now. So I like those parameters myself. They work good on this. I don't know, again, if you do your own back testing on this. I would definitely try that. This works great on crypto. Put any type of crypto in here. Let's see here. Pine strategy tester, trading panel, crypto. Not much drawdowns either. Still want to make this great. So I'm very happy with it. The short will be coming out soon. Again, the parameters, they might have some defaults on there, but again, the zero, I call this the open-ended 0, 0, 0, 0. No targets. It's just open it up with 5 contracts. It's moving up. Has a signal bar low. Once it gets to 8, it puts a break-even trailing stop on it, and it follows it up by 8 ticks. Now, the more you open this up, if we look back here at the performer overview, and if we go back to this, which I like to do sometimes, if I go back to, I can't even see, you can't get there. Yeah, we're going to move this around. So we're going to move our trailing stop and make give it a little more room. So let's make it 20. I forgot what I was at there. See, it cut a lot of the profits off. I always like that. The 8 ticks was always work good for me on this. The other thing I wanted to show you on one more thing on the parameters here. This is my ingenious little addition to my scripts. It's called a safety net exit. And this, I think, is excellent for using if you're going to be running this and it's a downtrending market and you're not sure of your parameters. So remember, we're counting on capturing a pullback, getting a bounce, and making sure that bounce it hits our parameters that we have as our first target, or at least gets up to a trailing stop where we have a safety barrier, you know. So we have to get through 8 ticks before, unless it might turn over and stop us out. But if you're traded at a downtrending market, you have a better chance of that happening. You have a better chance of that. And if you know that, and you could click on your safety net exit, meaning if you get an entry and you're moving up, but you're not hitting your target yet, but the stochastics got overbought got above 80, it'll automatically take whatever profits it has and it'll take it off right when you start to get over 80, when it gets above 80. All right, so what that's telling us, and with the 62. So what that's telling us is that fast rotation, and we're not going to hit that. Once that fast rotation comes in, there's a better chance for us turning over. So whatever we have is going to be taken. I think it's a great little feature. If you could get it to, understand when to use it, it'll be perfect times to use it. It's just, of course, being in the know while it's happening. That's sometimes some of the hardest things to do. But definitely check that out. Let's see if we put the safety net on there. Well, actually, I have let's get rid of the deep back testing here. There we go. Oh, there it is. Let's take it off. 3646, yeah. One more thing on this. What was I going to do here? When you first start, maybe you might be starting the scripts for the first time and you're trying to run the scripts on a contract that might be too big for the money you have in the properties. Lots of times that'll happen if you have it set on the ES or something that's a big tick, and you just don't have enough initial capital or your margin is set too high. So you usually want to, because it's just on sim, bring your margins down to 30%. Bring your margins down to 30%. If you need more initial capital to take the trades, because it depends on, how many contracts you're taking. And I think if you start off maybe on the big NQs or the E-minis, you might be borderline, and sometimes that stops a trade going in. It says no trades will be taken. That's because you don't have the capital. So to kind of if that you run into that problem, that's what you need to do is lower your margin or increase your capital, or do both. All right, I think that's good. So again, I want to get feedback from this. So feel free to give me some feedback if you want some additions, possible improvements on it. I think it's really good. But I am definitely, would add stuff to it to make it more user-friendly. And again, if you want more information on it, you can head over to DayTradingRadio. You'll find a bunch of links for the bots there. DayTradingRadio.com. Hey, before I left here, I went back here, and I wanted to make sure everything was looking good on this. So I added commissions to this. And I just wanted to show you, I also, on the Thunderbird long, I'll go back to my settings here. I moved my margin down to like 5%. This is not accurate because you could get, $50 margin on MES through NinjaTrader and some other discount brokers, $500 for the ES. But I'm just putting it there because you could easily start an account with $10,000, but it won't let me go down too much further with the calculation, how they calculate. So we're going to start it with $10,000. Also put in my, I had to check the commissions again. I just put $2 commissions per contract. And then I put some slippage in here, a tick slippage, added to the fill price of market and stop orders. So I had to go beyond that, one tick beyond that to really get that fill. So then I did that. And now this is now for the month. So 10 trades, 60% profitable, 50%. I mean, just take a look at the list of trades here. A little bit more interesting. I do have some big runners. That's interesting to see how this is. I'm curious to see this. Is that drawdown more than our stop is registered there? We should only have an 8-tick stop. It doesn't seem like this might. There's definitely some things I want to kind of get people to kind of go over with me. Further you go out there, let's go out to April. Things look. Let's take a look here. Where are we at? Overview. There we go. So it moves up here. So 14,000. Total P&L 14,000. Up 141% over the month. Since April. Yeah. 21 trades only. So we'll see. Maybe I will even mess around with this a little bit more. I can't wait to get the short out there. Have fun with it. Let me know what you find. You can leave a comment in the comment whatever. I don't usually look at the videos, so if you really want to contact me, head over to DayTradingRadio.com and just send me an email.